We have a mix mash for you today. Something I do quite regular on my show, which is something where a music reactor like me discovers a fabulous audio track and decides it's got no official video. It needs something, a visualizer, that's what they call it, a visualizer to accompany it. So I mix it with something I've seen or something I've saved or something I know of, and it's called a mix mash. Well, today this video is a mix mash with Dimash's song, but not Soul of Humanity. It's actually a mix mash of Dimash's song, The Story of One Sky. Now, I have reacted to that like thousands of reactors did. It absolutely moved me, that I felt very emotional. This is also an emotional video with Dimash's sound and lyrics from the song The Story of One Sky. It's been mixed together. What is the film from and what is the film about? I'll tell you now. Just give me a minute. This video was inspired by Dimash's new song The Story of One Sky. By now it's well known how Dimash feels about the subject of war and the collateral damage that the innocent humans, especially children, are subjected to as a result of a global conflict. The storyline in this video, although fictional, shows that humans have an inexhaustible capacity for goodwill and that they can share in a common struggle and help one another overcome diversity. Now, I do hope that all Dimash fans will embrace this just as much as you did of The Story of One Sky, and because it needs to be in the current situation, especially Ukraine and Russia and other conflicts around the world. Children are being displaced more and more because of war. Their parents are either killed or harmed, or their homes are taken away from them, or they have to move to a different village in a safer area, and a lot of children have been displaced. So I am with Dimash on this, and if I can show another video, another perspective with the incredible Dimash's voice and The Story of One Sky lyrics, I think that's a good thing, and that's why I'm embracing this video as well. I'll also attach my reaction to Dimash and the Story of One Sky to this, to keep unity, to keep it unified. So you get double the pleasure, I hope, of myself reacting to two angles and seeing things from two different perspectives. So hopefully it'll work out well. Plus it's nice to read the lyrics of The Story of One Sky again, even if it's attached to a different film and a different video, because they're so poignant today, they're so meaningful, and we need to just keep embracing Dimash's message, which is all about the protection of children. And I do say this from the heart. When Michael Jackson finished, Dimash took over in the love and the sense of wanting the world to come to peace and praying for it and wishing for it and singing about it and writing about it. And I think that's an important message. We all want that, don't we? So it said the main story of this video, everybody, which you're about to see, is based on the work of Bruno Avillon, titled Humans. Bruno is a genius French filmmaker who has directed some of the most famous commercial films in the world. He's one of the most sought after directors and photographers of our time. And here, his work has been merged with the amazing artist Dimash and Bruno together. We shall see two samples of Bruno's work and learn more about this gifted artist. If you wish to, there will be a link attached to this video, and that's all I can say for now, because it really is going to be the first time I've watched this in its entirety. And to the person who put this together, Dimash Zone is the name of the channel, everybody, I know it's going to be powerful. I just know it is. And I congratulate you. It takes a lot of time. I do mixed masters. It takes a lot of time and thought and effort to get it right. And I'm sure you have. Let's watch. It's very moving, because don't forget the lyrics and the voice of Dimash and the incredible, powerful song, The Story of One Sky, is accompanying this now particular video.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 6, 8, 9,
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Can't believe what's happening at all. My pulse crazy, we born to fall. We are the reason we're causing all that pain. To the secret one that gave us life. Billions of hearts, billions of cells and souls and dreams. Billions of lives shouldn't ever turn to senseless horror, so distant. Should fall with this whole life, with blood of God, they fall. Last chance is here. Can we balance on the edge of your regret? Our future, is it possible to save? So when all the crazy Bibles falling, we decide to stop the training. We decide to follow their light. We are making final total right. We are choosing life. Choosing love. Learn to share again. Learn to share again the love, not shares. Learn to live again. We have passed the moment of invention. What did the peace? Do we have to stay?
I have to say it's as powerful as it was before. And there is Demos sitting, thinking about the world and thinking about what he can do to make it a safer place for everybody. Very, very powerfully put together. I have to congratulate you, Demos Stone. It brings it all back, and especially with the lyrics. Those that are not familiar on my channel with Demos, he's one of the world's most formidable, powerful, and probably enigmatic singers of our time, with a vocal range that's incredible. There's nothing he can't do vocally, there's nothing he cannot do lyrically, as he's proven time and time again. His songs can be theatrical, his songs can be entertaining, his songs can be extraordinarily powerful. But I find with this song, it's one of those songs that are exceptionally personal, because the images from both the story of One Sky and this spin-off, as I will call it, about humanity and the aftermath of a war situation and what people go through. I can't imagine what people go through, because I've never experienced the threat of a war or I've lived all my life in a very peaceful world, and to think that world peace has been threatened so many times in the last couple of years, it's incredible. And that we have a situation of war at the moment. My thoughts and prayers are with Ukraine people as well. And I say this from the heart as Russian people, because both sides, I've always said, the civilians don't want the war. Nobody wants war. They see the devastation of it. They want peace, and I just hope world peace can come. And now I'm going to take a breath and go through the lyrics again. Can't believe what's happening at all. Piper's crazy, we're bound to fall. We're the reason we are causing all that pain. To the sacred womb that gave us life. Billions of hearts, billions of cells and souls and dreams, billions of lives. Shouldn't ever turn to senseless horror. Straight away, it's really a story towards the politicians. When you think of it logically, what he's saying here, it shouldn't ever turn to senseless horror. No, it shouldn't. To the sacred womb that gave us life, to the mothers that bore us, and our children's children, to the generational and generations of people that have been born into a world. We're guided by our parents, but external circumstances is about choice, and usually it's in the hands of politicians. And I've said this time and time again, Piper's crazy, we're bound to fall. We are bound to fall, and so are politicians as well, if they're not careful and make the right choices. And we are the reason, he says, we're causing all that pain. Why does Demos say that in the first opening sentence? We are the reason if we make the wrong choices, pick the wrong politicians. And in countries like Ireland, particularly my own country here, not use the one thing a lot of countries, politicians have taken away from people, which is the freedom to vote and to have your say as a person and to vote for what you want and the choices that you make. It's not just choices in life, it's choices that you make politically that will affect your life and other people's lives. It's so important, and people are forgetting it. And we almost today, when I speak to my nephews and nieces, they don't even vote. And I say, why? Do you know how many countries would love to vote for change? No, they think they can do it on a phone, on social media. It's mad. So it shouldn't ever turn to senseless horror, I agree. He continues, so tears and blood won't follow death. They should flow. With tears of life, with blood of birth, they flow. You know, you're conceived in the womb, you grow in the womb, you're born into a world. That's the birth of life. Life gives us hope. You're born into a world of not knowing, and you're born into a world with tears, with the parents around you with tears of joy. And that can quickly follow tears and blood and death. For anybody, life is so precious, so fickle, so beautiful. It's a gift from God, and it's a gift we ought to cherish. It continues, life change is here. Can we balance on the edge of fiery grave? Our future, is it possible to save? Well, Dimash, I would say it is. We have, in this world today, believe it or not, even though there's wars and conflicts, people have never lived so freely amongst countries, traveling, and so well. And people have never been so informed like social media has informed us. You only have to look at all the bookshops closing down now. You don't need to read a book. You can go in your phone. Instantaneous knowledge. We're so knowledgeable, and so technology has embraced us, and we've embraced technology, that it's incredible. And I do believe through technology, through our sense of knowledge, our sense of purpose, a sense of wanting and being, we certainly can save our future, because we realize the world is a beautiful place to visit and experience, and lots of young people are doing it. Whereas we were doing it in my youth, today they are traveling so much more, so they're experiencing cultures and the world and starting to appreciate history and the monuments of ancient history. And okay, they might take pictures, but they're appreciating it, and that's the importance. They're appreciating the world they're living in. So he says, so when our crazy pipe is failing, and I'd say crazy pipe is failing, I hit towards the politicians. When they're failing, we decide to stop the trailing. We decide to follow the light. We are making the final turn to right. We are choosing life. We are choosing life. We are, Dimash. Learn to share again. Learn to share again. I just want to check on the time of this. Not the shares. Learn to live again. We have passed the moment of imagine. World is the feast. Do we have to starve? No, we don't. Through knowledge, through traveling, through enjoying, through wanting, through desiring, and through the need to live a full life, we never need to starve. And the world's there for us to do that. Time is up. It's time to save the earth. Here, Dimash. Time to save the earth. Here is the last chance. It can be. If we don't vote, if we don't vote for change, if we don't use that one thing so many countries would love to have, you only have to think of Iran and think of the women in Iran that have no choice. Afghanistan, all the women of the world that are suppressed and have no choice, no freedom, and parts of Saudi Arabia as well, and China and other places where their vote counts for nothing. They're not allowed to vote or have certain things. Whereas in the West here, we do. We listen to both sides of the argument, and usually it's for the good of children, the choices we make. So it is the last chance for you to listen. Use your vote. It goes all the way through, repeating the same that I've just talked about. We are choosing life. We're choosing life. Night is falling. Fate is tightening the noose. So, and this is when he finishes with what I said in the beginning. So when our leaders are failing, we decide to stop the trailing. Yes, we can stop them from failing us by voting, by making the change, by making our voices heard, by joining a group online and moving forward as one and unifying all of us. Think about this, all Dimash fans, just for 1 minute before I finish. Think about all the Dimash fans around the world. If they got together, you could make incredible changes. Think about that. There's so many of us dears out there. We could. And that's just Dimash and his fan clubs and the people that love him and his messages. Just think about that. That's all it takes. because as he says, we are making final turn to right. We as deers are choosing life. We as deers are choosing life. May we always do that, fellow deers. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed this mix mash. Take care for now.